name is Wayne Feng. I'm a web developer. Today I'm going to show you e-commerce backend. As you know, e-commerce is a website where online shoppers go, they browse the catalog, they make specific purchases, but having a website is not enough unless you have a platform where you set up the e-commerce. But there's also a backend. The backend is the API and the database. When the website has a link, the user clicks a link to show all the products for one specific category, let's just say clothing, then the API is going to go like, yes, I understand you want to see all clothing. Then it's going to pull that information from the database and it's going to give that information to a website, and the website is going to show it to the user. Today, I'm going to demonstrate you a working backend, which is the API and the database, so that you can implement it into your e-commerce solution. I have a short description here that this is a MySQL database of SQLized ORM. The tables or the pieces of information you have are categories, products, and tags. First, you want to clone the repository. I mean the folder itself. You want to follow the installation steps. You want to create env file on your server that has all these credentials so that your RESTful API can connect to your database. I'm not showing my env file, and I did not push it to the Git repository because I would like to keep that information private. But basically you need a database name, user, and password. The name is going to be ecommerce_db. Please keep it the same so the code can refer to it. That's already set up on my end. On the right, pretend that is your RESTful API server. In this case, it's my local host. It's on my computer, okay? So I can demonstrate it to you very easily. Once you clone the repository, you want to make sure you have all node dependencies. This is a node API that we're working with. Once you run npm install, then you want to set up the database. So the database is a MySQL database. So what I do is I'm running the MySQL shell. In here I can show all current databases in my database server. We already have an e-commerce database from previous usage of my backend code, but it's going to be a fresh start for you. You're going to type in source db/schema.sql, and you're going to have to be at the folder where the repository is, so the relative path can find that file. You press enter and you notice it runs two queries. What it does is it checks if the database name exists. If it exists, it drops it. So it doesn't matter that I have an old copy. It's not causing any conflicts. And then the second query is that it's going to create that database. Next, you want to run the seed. What the seed is a Node.js script, as you can see right here, that runs the seeds folder index.js. That is going to create all the tables that you know, product, categories, and tags that you need for the user to use backend for their e-commerce solution. You're going to run npm run seed, and these queries are ran. Categories, products, tags. You actually have a fourth table. Product tags is an intermediate table so that you can have many-to-many relationships. That's kind of deep, but a tag belongs to many products and a product belongs to many tags, because you can have several products that have the tag white. For example, if the online shopper goes online and purchases a white t-shirt, you can have a tag under that product called white, and they can click the white and it shows other products that are white, like a white pants, so they can complete their wardrobe. After you source the schema, you seeded the database, you want to double check that the database actually created. What you can do is you can go here and start using that specific database and then you can select all from product. Make sure to have the semicolon at the end. And that's all the products, and you can do the same for categories and tags. But to do this for every demonstration of my API is very cumbersome. So what I can use is Workbench, or I can also use PHP MyAdmin. It would show you the database and all of its tables. I like PHP MyAdmin, and that's my personal choice. So I'm going to use this. As you see under product, and you click browse, these are all the data that we inserted using the seed script. The categories, the shirt, shorts, music, hats, shoes. It's fine. There's no pants. That was just an example I made up on the spot. But there's no pants in this seed. Tag. And you have these colors like white right here. And you have product tag. So there is a fourth table. As I explained earlier, this is it. You just have two columns of lookup tables. The product ID references the product table record. So you can see I click that and it jumps to the product table. Okay, that's confirmed. The database is created. The tables are created. So what's next is you want to actually run the server. Once you run the API server, then you can start requesting information from the API server, and the API server will connect to the database that we just created, pull that information and present it to the website. It say right here it's listed on part 3001. Now, I didn't create an e-commerce website to test this. What you can do is you can use Postman, or you can use Insomnia. For this demonstration, I'm going to use Insomnia. Insomnia will let you test different API routes. So we're at part 3001. Under usage, I have instructions here. We're testing on getting all the categories. So if the user goes on your website and is listing all the different categories before they can actually approach the products, this would be something you would call. Make sure it's a GET request to this API route. Click send. And here you go. These are different categories as you saw earlier. Shirts, shorts, music, hats, shoes. Perfect. Now let's just say the user click one of the categories, and then it's going to show all the products for that category. For example, they click shirts. Then that category has an ID of number 1. If you return only one category, you're using this route. Make sure it's get, then /1. Send. Perfect. And it also lists all the products under that category. For this data, there's only one product for that category. And you can confirm this in PHP MyAdmin or Workbench when you click category and you see that there's a shirts category. And you go to product, you click browse. Each product refers to a category ID. The shirts category was a category ID of 1. You only see one product that has a category of 1, and that's plain t-shirt. So this matches what we see here. It returns plain t-shirt for the category of shirts. If you have more than one product that falls under this category, then you will get more than one product when you call this API to API/category/1. Let's continue testing the rest of the API routes. Next is post. What post does is allows you to create new categories, which is very exciting. And this is more useful not for the online shopper, but for the staff that's managing the different categories and products on the e-commerce website, or the owner, however you have your e-commerce business set up. So it is again post to API/categories, and you have to pass it a category name value. Of course, if you're going to create a new category, you got to give it a name. Let's see what categories currently exist. So I'm not going to create any duplicates by accident. Shoes, hats, music, shorts, shirts. Let's create a category called pants. So make sure it's a post. Following my instructions on my README, it says to create a category name. Under the request body, I'm going to use JSON. That's fine. And for the string, we're going to call it pants. And you can easily use form UL encoded, which would be category name, pants, whatever your preference is. You post it to this. There's no ID. You're not changing the ID. The database is assigning the ID auto incrementally to make sure there's always a unique ID. You click send, and it shows you what's created. Pants of an ID of 6. Let's go back to PHP admin and refresh the page, and you'll see that there is a new record called pants for category. So that worked. Now we're testing the next route is to update the ID name. Let's see, what else do we want to call it? Pants, shorts. Let's call it long pants. Why not? So following the instructions for updating, you're going to send the request body. We already have that set up. We're going to call it long pants for the value. I'm going to put it at a specific ID. This time you need the ID. You're not creating something new. You're updating a record that already exists. Say we're updating this record or this row. So the ID is 6. So you're going to have to put /6. Make sure it's a put request. Hit send. That'll give you the number 1. 1 means it's successful. 0 means there's a problem with the request. If there's a problem with the request, most likely it will not have updated. Since it's a 1, let's refresh the web page. It should have successfully, there you go, it's successfully renamed or updated. Now let's check out the next query. The next query is deleting. Let's just say we don't want this category. It makes no sense, long pants, it's just something I made up. You can delete it at specifically that ID. Delete a specific ID. And here, it's fine. You can temporarily disable that field by removing the check mark. Delete at this API address. Click send. It sends you 1, which is good. 1 means it went through. Now let's refresh the category table. And you see that record is now gone. We're back to having 5 categories. So that is the whole category API routes. The next one is products. To list all the products, get all products, you're going to send a GET request to API/products. Notice a pattern here. That's the port, which your terminal shows you. It's got to be 3001 here. /API/whatever group or table. It was categories, now it's products. To get all products, all you gotta do is click send, and it shows you all these different products. Plain t-shirt, and it shows you the tags. Remember I mentioned briefly about tags. You can add different descriptors on the product. For example, the shirt can be white, it can be gold, it can have a pop culture theme, whatever pictures or design you have on your t-shirt. Let's collapse the tags so I can focus on all the products. You have plain t-shirt, running shoes. It's white. We have white running shoe. That's a tag. You have branded baseball hat. So all the products are here. Notice that it also shows you the category name. It also shows you all the tags. So not only does your e-commerce website show all the product names, but it can show all the tags and the categories it belongs to, which is pretty important for a functional e-commerce site. Next, what if, say, the user wants to see a specific product? How it works on a website is you're browsing for shirts, and then it shows all the products under the category of shirts, and you click one specific product, and it opens a web page with, for example, different photos of the shirt, how much is in stock, what's the price, and all of that. So you want to get a specific product. Following my README, it's very simple. Get API/product/ the specific ID. Let's just say we want to get sneakers. You have someone who's interested in getting sneakers. That will be an ID of 2. And you can tell here in the products table that every single product has a ID. ID of 2 is running sneakers. Let's get a specific product as the ID of 2. And there you go, it has running sneakers. And it joined the category and the tag names to that specific product you requested. Next, what do we have next? Next, we're going to be creating a new product. Let's go to the product table to see what we might want to create. We have t-shirts, sneakers, hat, music record, cargo shirts, baseball bat. Let's just create a basketball. All right, so following the example, you're going to make sure it's a post API products. You're going to have something in the request body. All right, that's the equivalent of entering different text fields here. But for simplicity, I'm going to switch over from form URL encoded to raw JSON, so I just can copy and paste the template here. For the product name, we're going to call it basketball. For the price, let's just say it's about $20. For the stock, let's just say we have 4 left. For the tag IDs, what the tag IDs are, if you go to a tag table, you have different tags and each one have a different ID. What makes sense for it is, let's just say it is a gold basketball, and that's an ID of 7. We're gonna pass an array ID of 7. No other tags make sense, so I'm just gonna use this. Now, if you see a squiggly line, it means something's wrong. This is in JavaScript object format. We need to change it into JSON format. So the key names have to be strings. All right, let's hit send. Product, browse. Okay, it is created. Okay, carrying on. Okay. Next, you are updating the product ID. So, refreshing the page, you see basketball here. Let's update the price. Let's increase it to $25. Following the example here, to update, it's pretty much the same fields, but make sure the method is put, and make sure you have a specific ID. The ID for the basketball is 6, right? So we put a 6. And I'm updating the price, careful what you click here, to $25. I'm gonna send it. Okay, I'm not really trusting what it's saying. I'm gonna refresh the page, and it say price is still $20. Huh. Put. Oh. What happened to the ID? When I erased what I accidentally clicked, the ID disappeared. Okay, let us grab the ID again. 6. So this just shows how important the route is. Don't click any of these by accident when you're using Insomnia. Maybe it's actually better to use Postman. It would prevent that. I'm going to click send, and it went through. When I refresh the page, we can see the price is no longer $20, it's $25. Next route I'm testing is deleting. Let's just say I change my mind, I'm going to remove the basketball. Okay, so following the instructions, it's delete API products specific ID. Send, we have a 1 means it went through. Okay, let's refresh the table. You can see that basketball is now gone. So we went through the category and product tables. Some of these API calls is more appropriate for the online shopper, and some of them are more appropriate for the staff that's managing the different categories and products. You're gonna have two different front ends, one for the online shopper and another for the administrative staff, but it's all one back end. Now we're gonna take care of the tags. To get all tags, you go to get tags, send, rock music, pop music, all the different colors, blue, red, green, white, and so on. So we know that works. Now let's just say we want to get a specific tag. You go to the table, tag, you see again, every single tag has an ID. Let's just say we want to get white. So we will be referencing in the API call API/tag/6. And I accidentally clicked something again in Insomnia. Make sure to click back to JSON. When we're getting all tags, we're not setting any request body, so I'm going to change it to form mode so I can just easily unclick that. Now when you click send, it's going to give you only one. If you collapse it, expand it, scroll down, it only gives you one tag. And inside that tag, we have two products that have the white tag. It's a plain t-shirt and running sneakers. Now the next thing we're going to test is creating new tags. Going back to text, table, pop culture, pop music, rock music. Let's add emo music. Yeah, why not? So following the instructions is going to be post tag, post API slash tags. So I'm going to post API slash tags, so there's no ID number, and you need to pass it a tag name. Let's switch back to JSON. And we're passing emo music. Make sure the route is correct, the method is correct, and the request body is correct. Method, route, request body. What we're doing, click send, and it returns what you created with the new ID. Now if you go back to the table tags and you click refresh, you'll see that you have a new record with an ID of 9 and the name is emo music. Great. And next, you want to be able to update the tag name. Let's just say we don't want emo music, we want goth music. So following the instructions on my README, you need to have a specific ID. As you already know, you just created the emo music, so you have the ID, it's 9. Make sure it's the correct method, which is put. And for the tag name, let's call it goth music. Click send, and you have a 1. 1 is a trophy value, meaning it successfully ran the query. We're going to refresh the tag table, and you see it's now changed to goth music. So you've been able to update the tag. Next, you're going to delete the tag. Let's just say we don't want the tag anymore. So following the instructions, you're going to delete at a specific ID API/tag/9. Method is delete, and you don't need this request body anymore. You don't need any more information other than the ID to delete it. So we're going to click send, And we have a 1, which is a trophy value to tell you that the query was successful. Going back to a tag table, we're gonna refresh the page and we see that golf music is now removed. Great. So as you can see, the backend solution works. You have to make sure npm start is running, or you can install this on a Heroku server. You gotta make sure that the front end of your e-commerce is calling the right port and the right route, the right method, and if it applies, it needs to send the correct request body. And then the API solution will return what you need in the format of JSON. Get all tags, and you can parse the JSON and render the information on your web page. You can have a web page that submit forms to a post or put requests, and that will allow you to either update or create new tags, products, or categories as an administrator. I hope this is useful. If you want to hire me, my LinkedIn link is below. My name is Wayne Fang. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching my video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you later. Thank you.